The idea here is that the fix for our broken food system, well, it doesn't start on some giant corporate farm. It starts right in the classroom. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so here's the game plan. First, we're going to unpack this idea of a forgotten relationship with our food. What went wrong? Then, we'll get into the exciting part, this massive generational solution. We'll follow the thread all the way from a kid's first school project to actual community farmland, see how it's all guaranteed to last, and what it could really mean to build a food system that's, meant to last forever. So let's just start with a question for you, personally. How connected do you actually feel to the food you eat? Like, really think about it. Could you name the farm where your last meal came from? I mean, for most of us, let's be honest, the answer is probably no way. And according to the source material here, that's not some random accident. It's happened by design.
And this number, 80%, this really sets the stage. It represents this huge shift in where we live. 80% of the population in British Columbia now calls an urban center home. Think about that. We've literally, physically moved away from the land where our food is grown. And that distance, that's really the first step toward forgetting.
And this is the human cost of that shift. Get this, less than 2% of the population actually works in growing food now. That hands-in-the-dirt knowledge, that gut feeling for the seasons and the soil, it's just fading away. It's knowledge we're losing with every single generation. So you combine that physical distance with the loss of that farming know-how, and what do you get? You get this. We've basically swapped out a local connection for this gigantic and frankly super fragile global supply chain. The average bite of food travels over 1,500 kilometers just to land on a plate in Vancouver. That is a seriously long and vulnerable journey. But this disconnection, it's not just about how many kilometers our food travels. The source material we're looking at argues it's way deeper than that. It's about these fundamental breaks in how we even relate to the world around us. And to really get a handle on this, the source gives us this really powerful way of thinking about it. It says our whole modern food system is built on what it calls the 3 separations. Okay, separation number 1, it's between us, people, and the land itself. By packing into cities, we've lost that direct physical connection to the soil. We don't really know its rhythms anymore. We've kind of become consumers of a landscape that we just don't intimately understand. Next up is the separation between people and the food itself. Food isn't a relationship anymore, right? It's just a product on a shelf, an anonymous commodity. The whole story behind it, the farm, the farmer, the unique variety of apple, all of that has just been wiped clean by the price tag. And the final one, and this one is huge, is the separation between people and the future. Short-term profits, that's the name of the game now. That whole idea of stewardship, of looking after something for the long haul, has been pushed aside. The source says it so well. We just don't plant orchards for our grandchildren to harvest anymore. We've stopped thinking in generations. Okay, so that's the diagnosis. It's a pretty heavy picture, right? But the whole point of this proposal isn't to just sit around feeling bad about it. Not at all. It's to offer a hopeful, inspiring, and a really ambitious solution. So let's shift gears and look at how we could actually build something better. And this is the vision, right here. It's not some top-down government program or a fancy corporate initiative. It's this massive, decentralized effort. Plant the world's biggest, boldest food forest, one classroom at a time. The idea is to start small, everywhere, and build something that is meant to last. So you might be wondering, how does this actually work on a practical level? Financially, it breaks down like this, and it's pretty clever. For just 50 cents a school day, we're talking less than a coffee a week, a child is basically investing in their own food future. Over their entire school career, that small amount adds up to 12 square meters of farmland credits when they graduate. Now here's the wild part. If you get full participation, every single graduating class in the province would add a whopping 888 acres of productive farmland to a community-owned commons every single year. But this is so much more than just a financial investment, right? It's a whole 12-year educational journey. It's designed to methodically rebuild that connection we've lost, step by step, as a kid grows up. And this just lays out that journey perfectly. You start small, in kindergarten, with a simple classroom terrarium. Then it scales up. In elementary school, the class is actually tending its own food forest. By the time they're in middle school, students are managing the entire cycle, planting, harvesting, preserving, even contributing to a seed bank. And then graduation. You don't just walk away with a diploma, you walk away with a real, tangible, permanent stake in your own food security. 12 square meters of farmland credits. It's yours. Okay, a promise like a permanent guarantee, that's a big deal. That needs some serious, solid mechanics behind it to work. So how do you make a vision this big real? And more importantly, how do you protect it forever? The whole key here is what the proposal calls a third way. See, it's not private land, which can be sold off to the highest bidder at any time, and it's not government land, which can change hands or priorities with every election. This is different. This land is community stewarded. It's held in a trust, forever, totally outside the reach of speculative markets or shifting politics. And the whole system runs on its own internal economy, powered by something called community credits. You can think of it like the ecosystem's own local currency, one that can't be gambled with on the stock market. It's what you use for your farmland credits, for renting plots, for exchanging labor. And it's always backed by real things: cash reserves, the work people put in, and the land itself. And this is the legal bedrock that locks it all down, the Permanent Land Trust, or PLT. This is the crucial legal tool that's specifically designed to pull farmland out of the speculative market for good. This is what makes that guarantee truly generational. So with all those mechanics in place, let's just zoom out for a second and look at the truly mind-blowing power of this idea when you imagine it at scale, playing out over generations. Seriously, this slide right here is the wow moment. Look at how this compounds. In year one, with everyone on board, about 74 acres get added to the commons. Okay, nice start. But after 12 years, that very first graduating class has collectively built a working food commons of 888 acres. Now project that out over 7 to 10 generations. The source envisions a massive, province-wide network of community-owned farmland. It's just a stunning example of how tiny, consistent contributions can build something truly world-changing over time. And you know what? The logic here doesn't have to stop with just food. This same model, this idea of community stewardship through a permanent land trust, could be used for so much more. You could protect forests for carbon capture and biodiversity, or secure recreational land for everyone to enjoy. It's really a framework for building a complete, thriving commons. So we're going to end this not with a neat little summary, but with a question that the source material leaves us with. If a system like this actually existed, who would you be in that story? Would you be a parent signing your kid up, a teacher with a class terrarium, a grandparent investing in a real legacy, or maybe a farmer who sees a way to protect your land forever? It's a really powerful thought to leave on. What role would you play in feeding the future?